This is your man Chuck Creekmer, aka Jigsaw. We are here at the NASDAQ headquarters in Midtown Manhattan. We're about to talk to Kevin Liles about all the issues that we are facing right now in the world, including the trial of Young Thug and Gunna. Check it out.
They made me so much money. I made them so much money that it stopped being about money.
Yeah.
And so when you give yourself of service, it just becomes about how you feel.
Right.
And I don't do things for to be recipient of something.
Right.
I do it because it makes me feel good.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? And that's just where I'm at in life.
How do you stay energized and motivated in these types of times? We're in extremely turbulent times, trying times, spiritually, physically, mentally. How do you stay energized?
Through scripture, through God, through meditation, through knowing that, and I think James Prince said it best, every day I get a choice and a chance.
Right.
To do better.
Yeah.
To do more.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have this campaign that I'm working on that we'll launch next year, and I believe that being stagnant or thinking that you did it already, and it's not more to do. What if Michael Jordan said, you know what, I got 5 rings, I've got hundreds of millions of dollars. You wouldn't have a company that in 2025 will be worth $13 billion called Brand Jordan. What if Tyler Perry stopped and he had a successful play and he wouldn't be rebuilding Atlanta? What if I didn't learn the power of me and reading Russell's book Do You and being around in the power serve? Understand there's only me.
Right. Yeah.
There's only me now in the business. And I have such an opportunity because I'm an entrepreneur. I'll never work for nobody,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'll partner with people and I'll do things that help our culture go forward.
Right.
But what if I didn't learn what Russell instilled in me?
Right.
And so where would we be now? Who would be testifying for Young Thug?
Right. Absolutely.
Who would be out marching with Nas and Russell? Who would be down with Carmelo with Freddie Gay? Because you don't see nobody else.
Yeah. That's
So it's not a food or a pill or anything, but that wakes me up every day. That my will to be of service and to serve God.
Okay. You mentioned in the fireside chat with Reverend Al Sharpton about we're fighting the same fight as we did 30 years ago.
50 years ago. Right?
50, yeah. From a hip hop perspective, it's less time, but yeah, obviously. Strange Fruit was brought up. How do we change things obviously we have Protect Black Art, but how do we change this and create a shift that's permanent or long lasting?
Policy and putting people in place that look like us, grew up like us, act like us, talk like us, have some of the same problems as us. I don't believe in politicians. I'm starting not to believe in a Democrat, Republican. I want to believe in what's right and what's wrong and the person that I believe in.
Okay.
That's it.
And when we're talking about hip hop, it's changed a lot. Obviously, I put on Twitter the other day, when Public Enemy. When can we get another group like that? Another, game changing, conscious group on a level that they were, or on a level that pop artists are now?
The times dictate the art. You have, when NWA said "fuck the police" or Public Enemy said "fight the power," remember DMX said they don't know who we be. The time will reflect the art that comes out of it, and so I believe the biggest story hasn't been told yet, because I believe there's a kid that walked 10 miles to go to school, that barefoot.
Yeah.
There's a kid that had, before he walked the 10 miles to go, so he had to walk 2 miles to get water to help his mom bathe. Wait till that story's told. Yeah. Not about the chains, not about the guns, wait till that story told from a perspective of, I never had and I still don't have, but I believe.
Right.
Wait for that story to be told. So I believe the times dictate the art.
Okay. And as far as, the actual movement, Protect Black Art, where are you, where are you with that now, and what do you, want to do with it? It's obviously centered around the current case and things, but, moving that, how long do you want that to go, or is that just centered around the here and the now?
It's our legacy, and I say our legacy because 50,000 people have signed on. I got corporations that are starting to sign on to it. I realize we should have been protecting Black art since Nina Simone. Yeah. So I realized the reason that we were able to come up with this term and why I want to dedicate my life to it, because somebody has to protect us. Yeah. And so now I want to protect Black art. It's like, again, I only learned from Russell. When we used to do Rush Philanthropic, that sat on the board of, it was protecting art. It was providing art. It was giving. And so to me, again, the situation provides an opportunity for me to put a solution in that I believe people can get it behind.
I'd be remiss in saying if, since we have Russell here, Russell and Earl Graves were my mentors in my head, from books. I didn't have a mentor, but Russell was definitely my mentor because I was reading his, obviously studying the legacy of the culture through him, and also reading the books that you were writing at the time. So I got to say thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, because we, me and Greg, we're from Delaware. We didn't have any anything to look at.
At least you had some ocean. I'm from Baltimore.
Well, y'all got the crabs, though.
Okay, cool. At least you had some peace,
Right.
Because the Inner Harbor back in my day wasn't the Inner Harbor that it is now. I jokingly say, none of us grew up with a silver spoon in our mouth. Right. We all grew up with rusted spoons in our mouth. But it's having an opportunity to become not just a product of your environment, but a product of your experiences. Mm-hmm. And allowing those experiences and taking other people for them to get their interpretation of what those experiences are. And that's what I was blessed to have in Russell and Lee, or whether it was matzo ball soup or philanthropy. Right. I just had the different perspective on things, and I now want to continue that by doing what we're doing with 300 Electra, but also protecting Black art.
You mentioned getting out the way, something along those lines.
Out of the way, nurture way, and get out of the way.
Get out of the way. How confident are you with the state of Black leadership, the state of leadership within the music industry, to create those new pioneers, those new leaders, disruptors even?
I believe that people are afraid. I believe that, but it's in the industry. I believe that there's not enough diversity and inclusion in the music business, but in all businesses. And I also believe that if Rolling Stones could do it until they're 80, and if Clive Davis could do it until he's 75, I'm going to be around fighting that good fight, because it's not to be given to us. It's something we're going to have to take.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Always, brother. Always. Bless you. Anytime.
You too.